This is a time for justice. Welcome to today's show. I want to talk about this miracle substance that we always hear about called graphene, right? Some of you have heard of it and are familiar with it. Lots of people out there haven't heard of it, but should be familiar with it. And then lots and lots of people out there are familiar with it, but don't realize that they're familiar with it, if you catch my drift. So I have a video I just put up on the website at timeforjudgment.com. Which ties into this in a sense. I can't say what the word is because I've gotten a strike before just for saying the word, which is insane. So definitely check out the website, timeforjudgment.com, if you haven't, for this video and some of the other videos that I've done on this topic. But let's get into some of these stories because graphene, again, is out there. And, we're supposed to just, be thankful and happy that it's graphene and it's all over the place. And, hey, graphene is a miracle. And now with graphene, guess what's going on? You won't believe this. For the first time, human brain organoids are implanted in mice and show response to visual stimuli. You might say, I don't really know what that means. Well, researchers demonstrate that organoids react to external sensory stimuli using cutting-edge recording technology. A group of engineers and neuroscientists, hello, have shown for the first time that brain organoids implanted in mice from functional connection to the mice's cortex and respond to external sensory stimuli. The team observed the organoids reacting to visual stimuli similarly to the surrounding tissues thanks to a transparent graphene microelectrode array and 2 photon imaging system that allow real-time monitoring over several months. So that might sound complicated to people, but let's just say that this magical thing known as graphene, okay? You might have seen it before, clips of it. 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons, huh? Catching on yet? Yeah. This magical substance actually is helping work inside of the brain with microelectrodes. So the study, which was recently published in the Journal of Nature Communications, was led by Duigo Kuzum, a researcher in the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department at UC San Diego. Collaborators include researchers from Boston University and a lab at Salk Institute. Okay. Human organoids are derived from human-induced pluripotent stem cells, which are usually derived themselves from skin cells. These brain organoids have recently emerged as promising models to study the development of the human brain, as well as a range of neurological conditions. So think of it this way. This miracle graphene thing, we actually could have it in our brains, and then people can monitor our brains because it's kind of going to create like an electromagnetic field where they can see all this stuff, what's going on in your brain, what you're thinking, your emotions, you know what I mean? They said until now, no research team have been able to demonstrate that human brain organoids implanted in the mouse cortex were able to share the same functional properties and react to stimuli in the same way. This is because the technology used to record brain function are limited and are generally unable to record activity that lasts just a few milliseconds. So with this type of graphene technology, they'll be able to record brain function and study brain function better. That's what they're telling you. Boy, if they can only figure out how to get it inside people's bodies, that's going to be the crazy part, right? Because, if people are going to willingly want to take this inside their body, excuse me, something in my throat. The UC San Diego-led team was able to solve this problem by developing experiments that combine microelectrode arrays made from transparent graphene and 2 photon imaging, a microscopy technique that can image living tissue up to 1 millimeter in thickness. No other study has been able to record optically and electrically at the same time, until now, thanks to graphene, of course. According to Madison Wilson, the paper's first author and a PhD student in Kuzum's research group at UC San Diego, our experiments reveal that visual stimuli evoke electrophysiological responses in the organoids, matching the responses from the surrounding cortex. The researchers hope that this combination of innovative neural recording technologies to study organoids will serve as a unique platform to comprehensively evaluate organoids as models for brain development and disease. So in other words, I know when you hear stuff like this, it just goes, whoa, what? I don't know. Because, I mean, organoids isn't in everybody's vocabulary, okay? What they're telling you is that neural recording, right? So in other words, they'll be able to monitor, record things going on inside of the human brain, okay? They'll have recording technologies to study this, to study the brain functionality. And then, of course, they tell you, because this is how they always work it in, so people want it. This is how the mark will be worked in, because it'll have to do with your health. They say here, the organoids will serve as models for brain development and disease. So, we'll have this technology inside people, so then we'll be able to study their brain for disease, of course, because if anything's going on and something's wrong in the brain, we'll be able to figure it out. Then we can do some type of neurological surgery, and they'll be okay, and everything will be great. And people go, that sounds really wonderful, right? Put the technology in my body. I can't wait. I can't wait for my DNA code to be completely modified, right? Remember, I've talked about it for years. The things like the iFit, and again, if you have one of these things, do not take it personal, okay? I get it. You want to work out, maybe it motivates you to have something that monitors your calorie burn or whatever, and you're running. But the purpose of this type of technology is to desensitize and get people used to this type of technology, because this type of technology will be in you. Monitoring your health in your body is how it will be marketed, right? So people will be like, oh, well, you had the iFit, so you're desensitized to the fact that it was monitoring your blood pressure, your heart rate. Now, like, you don't even need to wear the stupid watch, because we'll have you hooked up to a system that'll automatically monitor you. And if something's wrong, your phone will beep and we'll tell you about it. So don't worry. Go about your day. Go to Starbucks. Go sit in your cubicle. Go get your lobotomy and sit there like a zombie. And if anything happens with your heart rate or any activity in your brain that we don't like, I mean, any activity in your brain that looks suspicious, anything in your brain that might be an effect on your health, we'll monitor you and call you. We'll text you with an alert, right? Like a code red. Your phone will go off. Hey, get to the nearest doctor. Or hey, come on in. We need to look at your brain because you've been thinking bad thoughts about how there's a huge conspiracy going on. Suddenly you're starting to wake up from what's going on. We better get them into the doctor's office and do a neurological exam and do something so they don't start thinking for themselves. Catch the drift? So the researchers hope the combination of innovative neural recording technologies to study organoids will serve as a unique platform to comprehensively evaluate organoids as models for brain development and disease, like I said, and investigate their neural prosthetics to restore function to lost, degenerated, or damaged brain regions. Again, so by having this tech, then anything that could go wrong, and again, they'll use Parkinson's, they'll use diseases that we're all familiar with, that you've seen people with Alzheimer's, right? It's frightening. It's horrible. But there are only certain people to blame for it. Because when you're getting bathed in aluminum and barium, that's where Alzheimer's comes from. But other people are just like, oh, isn't it horrible? They never think of where it could have come from. They're just like, why is God so evil? Oh, wait, aren't you atheists? So you don't believe in God, so then where did it come from? Right? What happened? Did a king cobra fart on itself and then it just spread into the air like we're supposed to believe with the other thing that happened with bats? I mean, come on. They don't realize why these diseases happen. So people are obviously fearful of them. This type of technology, of course, will give people, oh, wow, really? Just by having some graphene in me? I can have a graphene neurological chip put in my brain, and then I don't have to worry about Alzheimer's because this thing will monitor my brain. But really what it'll do, instead of monitoring if I have a disease or not, they'll tell us that's what it's for. They'll be monitoring your thoughts, your brain waves, anything that they think might be a threat to them, right? Or you awakening from your slumber, well, you'll have to go see a doctor because they can't have that happen. So, this experimental setup opens up unprecedented opportunities for investigations of human neural network level dysfunctions, underlying development in brain diseases. Again, that's how they word this stuff to get people on board. It's science. It's stuff you don't understand. This is for the betterment of humanity, blah, 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 and the suckers just believe it. They say Kouzman's first developed the transparent graphene electrolytes in 2014 and has been advancing the technology since then. The researchers used platinum nanoparticles to lower the impedance of graphene electrodes by 100 times while keeping them transparent. So just some nanoparticles, nothing to be worried about. The low impedance graphene electrodes are able to record and image neural activity at both the macro scale and single cell levels. By placing an array of these electrodes on top of the transplanted organoids. Researchers were able to record neural activity electrically from both the implanted organoid and the surrounding host cortex in real time using 2-photon imaging. They also observed the mouse blood vessels grew into the organoid, providing necessary nutrients and oxygen to the implant. So that they go on to just talk about how this will be to the benefit of humanity. The next steps include longer experiments involving neurological disease models, as well as incorporating calcium imaging in the experimental setup to visualize spiking activity in organoid neurons. Interesting word, spiking. Other methods could be used to trace axonal projections between organoid and mouse cortex. You just tell us the next experiment will be on people, but they won't because that's already being done. You know, it is. Wink, wink. It's already being done in real time, right? But they can't tell you that because, you know, people will be like, wait, did they sign off on this? Just like that video I did, if you didn't see, on Bill Clinton talking about the radiation experiments. People didn't sign off on it. And they were doing illegal radiation experiments on civilians and military people. Oh, oops, we apologize. We shouldn't have done that. Oh, right. But don't expect an apology this time because they'll say, hey, you willingly participated in the experiment. Catch my drift. A reminder to check out the website at timeforjudgment.com. Again, there's exclusive content up over on the website. Important video kind of connected to this where I talk about what's important for them to get. No, I can't say any more than that, unfortunately, because for me, even if I say some of these words, like some people who were writing about the Sam Smith Grammys video that I did, and they're like, hey, you missed the part about who sponsored it. Oh, I didn't miss the part about who sponsored it. The difference between me and now all of these like mainstream people who are covering Satanism, which is very bizarre to see, which I'm not sure if the agenda behind it is just to start getting people to be angry at Christians because they're in an uproar. But you see the alt-right suddenly covering Satanism, like big time, right? Which I've covered my entire time here on YouTube, which is fine. Obviously, I want people to bring attention to it. But I can't say who sponsored the Sam Smith concert because just by saying the name, I get strikes for misinfo. I've had it happen many times, seriously, where there weren't even videos about the topic where I just said, hey, check out this video on the website. So I'm not even going to go there and say who sponsored it. Everybody already knows who sponsored it, right? If not, you can look it up. But does it surprise anyone? No, but I was aware. I just can't cover it. I can't say the name. I can't show the image on the screen. When the algorithm seems to read these things that I say, I get hit. Why? I don't know. I'm really not that important. I don't really see what the big deal is at this point. These people with millions of subs, and they don't deal with strikes. I don't know how. I guess they call YouTube and have partnerships. Beats me. But I'm not willing to go that route. I have no interest in becoming friends with Suzanne Wojcicki, Nick Cage. Okay? So, anyway, check out the website. You can share your information over there. That's really what the website's about. The forum, sharing things that you're seeing going on. You know, some people are sharing just photographs of things in airports and stuff like that. It's just stuff like you would never see. And you don't have to watch like videos to see it. You could just read. You could be up at night not wanting to watch a video and just reading articles. So much stuff being shared. And of course, people do share other people's channels, which is perfectly fine on the website. The website's not about me. It's about truth. So people share other people's channels that they like, BitChute channels, their own channels. So it's a great opportunity for people out there. If you're starting a YouTube channel, you want people to check it out. You can just share it in the forum. As long as you don't put like 750 posts in an hour of your website or of your channel. If you have some videos you think are important, go ahead and share it. Right? So you fellowship with other people. Obviously, a lot of people talking about homesteading and some of the things that they need to do or want to learn about in preparation for what's coming. So definitely check out the website if you haven't. I thank everyone for being here. Thank the Patreons. Thank the people who obviously support the channel by just following me onto my other channels. And again, if you haven't followed my other channels, please do so now. I don't know how long I'll be on this one. Again, I could say boo-hoo and I can get a strike for hate speech. So who knows? But I thank everyone for being here. Hope you're doing well. God bless all of you and your families.